Hey everyone, Sean here from Awesome Prop Trade, and today we're going to be going over my scalping strategy again for the trading day, Thursday, the 3rd of June, 2021. So we've got some trades up in here, and so I just wanted to go over sort of what I learned and what we did just over the top. Did $1,626 profit. Had mostly winners, a couple of losers. I'm going to go into the reasons why I had the losers, my decisions for closing them out at losing positions, or why I didn't close them at winning positions, etc. So we'll start off with Aussie dollars. So the Aussie dollar was essentially, I found there was a commodity theme last night. So you had all the commodity pairs that were going straight down, and that was the New Zealand, the Canadian, and the Australian dollar. So all of those were really struggling. As you can see here, jumped on these trades. I'm just going to zoom in a little bit so we can see a bit better. But on the 15-minute, this is a classic example of a great way to trade. Gold line moving down, red line. As soon as the line turns red, you can see that we're looking for the first pullback. So we get the pullback into the red and start selling against that red line and the gold line there. So yeah, that worked out quite well. Obviously could have stayed in the trade for longer, but you know, aggregate we got about 10, 11 pips on that one. So yeah, I think that was a pretty decent trade. And a lot of these others were essentially in the same boat, shorting Aussie dollar, New Zealand dollar, or Canadian, and generally going long on sterling. But we'll see as to why going long on sterling just blindly last night was a bit of a mixed bag. So getting into the Euro Aussie, made one trade on the Euro Aussie. Again, Aussie weakness, so the Aussie just crashed essentially over the New York trading session, and that's fine. But yeah, I was looking at getting into these trades for a great way to trade. Again, above the AO, gold line moving up, blue line in there, look for the first pull back in. Got a fairly decent entry. Ideally would have liked to have done better, but you can see our spread at the moment, 2.5 pips or 25 points. So yeah, even if you get in here, your entry is going to be sort of up here because you're hitting that ask. You're hitting the ask line instead of the bid line. So Euro Canadian is the next one. These were the two losers, or these were two losers. Pretty much jumped in on this trade as soon as we saw the blue line shift. So our scalper is saying it's time to buy. Pretty much jumped in on the buy. Came down to the gold line, bought again. So bang, bang. And look, I think for something like this, the euro wasn't overly compelling, and I got signals to sell out about on this candle. So on the close of this candle, now it's time to really think about like what I did wrong here. On the close of this candle, we pinged all three red, all three of them. So really should have gotten out at this point here, which meant that as an aggregate from here to here, you know, we would have been 18, would have only just had maybe a slight loser across the two of them. As far as everything else goes, you know, I can't really see any reasons why you'd get out otherwise. You can see that we don't really have any trend line forming here. Would it have been harder to get out of buys? Yeah, potentially. I mean, the daily's trending down, the 4 hourly's trending down, the hourly's definitely trending down, and the 15-minute, when we're trading it, got the buy signal. So yeah, it was definitely scalpable, but the higher time frames are all saying it's, you know, we're looking at selling. So yeah. Generally speaking, but the Canadian was weak. That's why we're able to get away with it. So this wasn't so much as Euro Canadian, like the euro strong and the Canadian's weak. It was just that the Canadian was weak, and the euro was also sort of weak as well. So we're going to go through and have a look at what the currency meter was saying. But yeah, that's all right. Euro yen, no, similar deal. Pretty much got the sell signal and had my stop up here. Look at this. My stop was up here. That was, what was that? How many points? 10 points. Couldn't be patient for a 10-point stop, you know. It's saying sell, and this was a great way to trade below the AO. Turns red. As it's turning red, we're coming back into it. Ideally, you would have sold up here as well. So you just sold, you know, sort of here and here, and as it comes in, sell again, and then, yeah, from that line there, you got about 15 pips or so. So could have been a great trade. Again, let my patience sort of wear thin on that one. When did I close this? That's a good question. So that's 21 o'clock, so 9:30. So yeah, not overly late in the evening. Just sort of got a little bit can't be bothered syndrome going on there. Euro dollar, had 3 trades on the euro dollar. So yeah, it was a lot of dollar strength, dollar and sterling strength yesterday. So again, great way to trade. Fantastic way to trade, actually. And got out here at 14:45, which is 9:45 p.m. Definitely should have stayed in the trade, you know. Gold line moving down, red line showing below the AO, pinging red here as well. Flash up into the first pullback after you get the sell signal. So first pullback is, you know, you get a huge amount of positive trading signals off the first pullback. Even the second pullback, you can trade that. Third pullback's a little bit harder. So you can see here, this is the second pullback here, blue candle, third pullback, blue candle. You know, so if you get in and sell here, you know, you're looking at maybe 17 pips, and then by the time you get triple blues, yeah, you're looking at like 12 pips or whatever. But the second pullback, if you can get in the second pullback, that's the one you want to be on. The first pullback is just, if you can get that, then whew, that's the dream. So sell, sell, sell. I think we had another sell. Yeah, just up here. So sell as it gets to the red, in between the red and the gold, and then hit the gold line, and then, yeah, we're off. I mean, these would have been huge, huge trades, but no, that's okay. You can't really hold yourself too accountable for getting out at profit. This was a trickier one. This was a trickier one because you're looking at essentially the gold line moving up, this blue line moving up, way above the AO. All of this is just screaming buy through the bottom here, screaming buy through here. You get the triple on there, but as it was coming back down, I knew that this was really sort of the first pullback. And the other thing was that the Aussie was very weak and the sterling was very strong. Over on the currency meter, the sterling was right at the top and the Canadian was at the bottom, and then the Aussie was close behind it. So yeah, just commodity currencies showing a lot of weakness during that trading period. And so yeah, it was easy to jump in for a scalp. Now the question is, could I have put in maybe from here to here, or from here to below these supporting candles, a stop loss, and then maybe throw in a trailing stop or something like that? Who knows, maybe. But again, with this strategy, I'm trying to trade with my lifestyle, right? So jump in on the trades at 12:45, so that's at 7:45 p.m. and then jump out of the trades at 14:45 again, 9:45 p.m. So it just got to the point where I just wasn't interested in trading anymore. Chloe wanted to do some workout, so we got to doing that instead. Read a little bit of Ray Dalio's new book, and sort of had a look at some of my stock portfolios as well. So again, this is a great way to trade. Screaming buy above the AO, blue line, pull back, pull the trigger. What more can you really ask for? Really hard to get the pullback to the blue line sometimes with these sterling pairs, especially sterlings crossed with pairs that are showing a lot of weakness, because the movement on them is huge. The average daily range is like 980 points. So you got a 33-point spread. It's really hard. This 33-point spread is, I really got in when the price was right there. You can see where my cursor is. And so I bought in at the ask, so 33 points above where it was actually showing at the time. So pretty much a perfect entry. Couldn't really ask for more. Sterling Swiss. This was a tough one. I bought as soon as I saw it. This is the worst. I must admit, this is probably one of the worst trades that I could have made. Missed this one. This was a fantastic pullback that happened at about 5:45 p.m. Sorry, I got a little bit of a cold, and then just shot up. Bought in here, and sort of was mucking around. I think I had another sterling Swiss in here somewhere. No, I didn't. I had a buy limit, so that buy limit was down here. So I was really looking for it to come back, and it eventually did come back, hit the gold line, and up and away. If it does something like that, gold line up and away, that's 17 pips. Something like this where I bought in, you're not really going to get too much more out of that. And if I saw this bang bang double top and coming back down, I would have gotten out of this trade. But if I was trading longer, 15 o'clock, what's that? That's 10 p.m. 10 p.m. you can stay in for half an hour, come back to the blue line here, and then take in the buy. Now you don't know whether it's going to keep going to the gold line or even if it's going to break. And that was, for me, that was the tricky thing, because yes, sterling was way up, but I remember the Swiss, it was sitting around 46% strength, and it was increasing to 52 and then coming back down. So I just thought, this isn't really a compelling pair for me. I was already in an aggregated profit, so I didn't really mind too much taking an L on something like this. And to be fair, I deserved the L on this one. Horrible entry, way out of the money. One of those things where you think, what is this guy thinking? But got out when the rules told me to get out. See, triple red. So yeah, you get out. So I would consider the entry a horrible mistake, but the trade management, I would consider that a win, and I'm pretty happy with the trade management on that one. Sterling yen. I think this was a boat. Yes, it was. So yeah, the yen, there was a sort of a bit of a flight to the yen. The sterling was showing a lot of strength, and then the dollar started pumping through into the New York session. So there was a bit of a flight to currency safety. So you've got your commodity currencies, and you've got your safety currencies. Your safety currencies are things like the US dollar, the Japanese yen, and the Swiss franc. So yeah, those are some great ones. Sterling New Zealand, this is a corker. Sterling New Zealand, jump in on what I saw was a pullback. Everything was looking fantastic. We got a pullback into it. Again, I know it's flashing triple red down here, but we didn't really have any candle formations that would justify me not going further. You can see we've broken this support through here. Look at this. This like intraday support all the way through like the start of the week. So it sort of bounced off there. So as far as what I was concerned, we're up and away. The sterling was way up the top in the currency meter, and the New Zealand, Aussie, and Canadian were way down. So I was very comfortable taking that. The sterling yen at the moment is showing a lot of strength. So you can do like sterling Swiss at the moment, sterling dollar. So the UJ will be going down, which you would expect to see. Yeah, so very interesting. But the Asian session doesn't really move that well. So New Zealand, US dollar. Again, another bunch of corkers. you could have definitely jumped in on these trades here, and they would have been amazing to just let run. Again, I think I got out, 14.45, so I closed a lot of the trades all at the same time. So yeah, that's pretty much it for all of the trades, and definitely looking at holding these stop losses and letting them run potentially if we start seeing US dollar moving up. But yeah, pretty happy with it.